Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday morning. It's good to be back. It's been a week. And now that I see myself in the camera, I haven't even combed my hair yet this morning. So good morning. Welcome to It's Sunday with Scotty and Raini. Raini is not here. She's upstairs. I don't know if she'll make it down this morning or not. She's pretty wiped out from travel yesterday and all of that and the whole week. And so welcome back. It's been a week without any sort of intrepid radio, and I hope you all survived. I know I did. Let me just double check my sound. I want to make sure that everything is what it's supposed to be. It is. How about that? And just making sure everything's all hooked up. I had everything all unplugged for the week since we weren't going to be here. And so I hope your week was as fun as our week was. We had a good time, and John and Bree were over last night. They brought Lucy back home, and the bird who they had for the week. And so we spent some time with them yesterday while we were winding down. I think they left about 10 o'clock last night, and by that time we were about ready to crash. We got in about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock yesterday, something like that. And after a fun, full week at Disney World on my daughters. So it was fantastic. Hey, Brianna. Harley was really upset Lucy wasn't here this morning. Oh, I think Lucy growled at me this morning. She's never growls at me. So it must have been she was using, where's my new mom and dad? No, I think she was trying to get to her chew toy, chew bone that you got her, Brianna. So, hey, Steph. Good to see you. Welcome back. Master Finn, good to see you. Comms are a go. Video is a go. Boom, boom, and boom. And so this morning, as most of you who see this program already know, Sunday mornings is a very informal program. It's not the formal intrepid radio. Tomorrow, by the way, starting Monday through Friday, we're back in the saddle again this week. And 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Western Time. There's Lucy. How'd she get down here? She must have been down here. Or did somebody come in and open the door? Oh, it's Raini. Raini's here. She might even slip over and say hi. So Intrepid Radio, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here. And we'll get back into Jesus, Potter, Harry, Christ, and wrap up that series pretty soon. And so I was just going to, Sunday morning, coffee. We didn't even have coffee in the house, I realized. So I had to go get some coffee this morning at the gas station. So this is Speedway coffee. But it's fine. Matt says, I'm going to guess most would like a recap of your week. Should be an easy enough show. Good morning, Mama Rainey. Matt Finn says, good morning, Rainey. Morning, she says from over there. And she's letting the dog out. And so, I'll give you a little recap of the week and how things went and the good times that we had and some of the fun stuff that we did. Again, I want to publicly thank my daughters, Abby and Bryn, for giving us this trip. They gifted us with this family trip. They, as many of you know, they flew up here a few months ago and surprised us with the trip. And then, of course, there were details back and forth arranging which dates worked the best and so on. But they surprised us with this all-expense-paid family trip down to Disney. And they said, except for souvenirs, everything's covered. And so it was pretty cool. And we spent enough on souvenirs. I can tell you that. Disney is not a cheap place to go. And I'm guessing they spent upwards of $15,000 this week creating this vacation. And so we had a good time, but it was action-packed, constantly moving. We had one day, Wednesday in the middle of the week, where it was spent most of the day at the pool and stuff like that. And just took a day off because we started right away on Sunday. We arrived there Saturday late afternoon last week, and starting Sunday, we were out. Boom. and it was walking. We were putting on 7 to 9 miles a day, just in walking, and going to see the different parks and see things. And we'd spend usually one day at a park and spend most of the day there, and just walking and doing all the things to see. And Thursday we went over to Universal, and was that Thursday? Yeah, Thursday was Universal for a day, and there's so much to see there as well. But we saw, what did we see at Universal? Harry Potter World at Universal, and a couple of other things over there. So that was good. Rainey's in her new souvenir Jurassic Park hoodie this morning, which she'll show off when she manages to come on over here, and when she feels up to it. So, Matt Finn says, yeah, Disney is no vacation. In fact, he says you might need a vacation from your vacation. There we go. There's the Rainy up behind me. Hey, Rainy.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Show him your new sweatshirt.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. There it is. Boom, boom. So we went over there too. That was fun. And Jurassic Park. Nice that movie series did very well, says Matthew Sainsbury. Yes, it is. That was in 92 that came out originally, Jurassic Park, if you all remember that. So what was your best part about Disney World this week?
I guess just watching the kids, because I didn't really get to I was hoping to see more princesses or more Disney evil characters, and we didn't see no villains, and except for the princesses in one parade, I didn't see any princesses. So
and the parade was very short, about 5 minutes. And they have you didn't have to wear masks except inside, and they were on you pretty tight about wearing your mask, covering your mouth and your nose when you go inside a building. Outside, you didn't need them, but they distanced everybody from the characters. The characters weren't really out. You saw them from a distance in a restaurant sometimes, and we actually had Mickey recoil in a nice way when Ellery ran up to get a picture taken with Mickey. Oh, you got to stay away. And other than that, we didn't see too much of that. So of the characters. Florida has no mask mandate. That's why, says Field Guy. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, because thank you, Governor DeSantis.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice when we got to go to Universal.
Yeah, Universal didn't bug you.
Nope.
They all wore masks. The workers wore masks inside, but if you didn't have your mask on, they didn't say a thing over at Universal. They didn't have a problem with it. So, yeah, Steph, you can go to secret places and see them. There are certain things they didn't do that they could have done, but didn't because of all the COVID mandates and all of that. And so,
where are these secret locations? I wish I would have known that.
Yeah, we didn't know where they were. They were just like getting. I know the girls were looking at trying to do like a princess meal with the kids and stuff, and they thought that was too much money to. They would have done it, but they thought it was so much money to spend for something that was just a meal, and with sitting with characters you can't really interact with. So, so there's that. So overall, it was a fun week, but it was a busy week. I looked at Rainy many times throughout the week and thought, I want you to just relax and let everybody take care of the kids so you can enjoy this too. And so she was always the mom, ever the mom, and always having to organize. And of course, the kids don't let mom and dad relax, but Rainy is always the target of what they need anyway. So they go to Rainy before they go to me. And Elderberry says, oh, you couldn't wake me up? Okay. I sent you. I think I tagged you in the post, Elderberry. So, Field Guy's boss got the second shot and has been in the hospital since Tuesday. Yeah, I've heard some dire things about the second shot. So, Rainy has wandered off. She's got other things going on too. And so, there were highlights for me, highlights for Flynn, highlights for the girls. The girls seemed to really like the rides. They were big into the coaster rides. And I know we went on one of the first rides we did was Space Mountain, where you're in the dark with all the flashing lights going around you, the roller coaster flying into space. And for me, I got to tell you, I can't do roller coasters the way I used to do roller coasters. When I was a kid, roller coasters, I remember there are places where we'd line up for roller coasters 14 and 15 times in a row. There's a place up here called Valley Fair. If any of you have been, it's like the Minnesota version of Six Flags and only more localized. And here comes Forky. That's my favorite shirt I saw while out there. Rowan got the Forky shirt. They didn't have it in the adult size, or I'd be wearing one right now. So, the coasters. I know Rainey and I we went on that, and I was jerking me all over the place. I can't do the rides like that anymore. It gets my head, and so we got off of that, and I said to Rainey, I said, I wonder how Rowan's doing. Ellery was doing, because she was riding with the girls, and I thought, oh, I hope she's not like crying or screaming or something. I said that was pretty rough.
I tried.
And they came out after us, and Ellery comes running out, bouncing out, yelling again, and she loved it. So, the Avatar ride, Steph, was pretty amazing. Was Avatar, that was over at Universal too, wasn't it? No, that was Animal Planet.
Yeah.
Not Animal Planet, Animal Kingdom. We had Animal Planet on. That was Animal Kingdom. And that was pretty impressive. The boat ride down the river, that was pretty amazing. You're in the dark, of course, in the tunnel, and all the scenes put together from the movie, The Planet, where you are. And yes.
The one you got to ride on like this was better. It was funner.
The one you got to ride on like
The
this?
One,
what do you
where
mean?
you sat in like that chair and then.
Oh yeah, that was the other ride at the Avatar, flying the banshees, the dragon creatures.
Banshees.
And that was all 3D, and of course it fills your peripheral vision, and you're put in these like what would be like workout bikes type of structure, and you feel the vibrations, and it shifts you all over, those kind of rides, and it fills your peripheral vision, and it's in 3D, and so you're flying down the cliffs and through everything, and that was pretty phenomenal ride, if your equilibrium can withstand it. As an adult, I loved it, and I would have done it again, but man, yeah, Field Guy just said brains. Yeah, it rattled my brain a little too much. I just can't do that stuff as much anymore. But Steph said that's her favorite, the creatures, the banshees, they're called. And that was a fantastic ride. And the wait times weren't too bad. We had a couple that were like 40 minutes, but that was the most at one or two of them. So you're going to say something again? You keep tapping me.
You should have came on Velocicoaster with us.
I didn't go do Velocicoaster.
You should have.
I'd already had it for the morning by the time we got to Velocicoaster at Jurassic Park. And my addled head couldn't handle it at that point. And I said, I'm not going on this. Rainey didn't go on that one either.
Because it went upside down.
It's not the upside down. It's I don't like the shake and stop and jerk me around and stuff like that. And that doesn't do it for me. I want a smooth coaster. You can go upside down. You can twist around. You can do fast turns. But after a while, it's like getting car sick and going, that car sick ride was fantastic. Let's do it again. So I would say, Steph says never used to, but I do now. Same here. That's the thing. It never used to bother me that way. Does now. I think the older you get, your brains become detached from your inner ear or something. I don't know what it is. So, We're home. But then again, that took place all week, too, if you're hearing that. That's children screaming because somebody took something from somebody. What'd you do, Rowan?
She wouldn't rip the phone out of her hands.
Hey, bring the phone to me, please. Hold on, folks. Here, give me the phone, please. Right away.
No, Mom already has
Give me the phone. Mom's got it?
I have it. Rowan
Okay.
ripped it out of her hands and ran down.
Yep. Help your sister, please. Okay. Hey, Ellie, come and say hi.
No.
Yeah. Well, everybody can hear you already. You might as well come and say hi.
What happened, Ellie? What happened? Rowan, I will not be taking you out now.
There you go. You're hearing it all here, folks. First, right here. So they're who do you hate, Elderberry? Let's see. Steph likes going to Disney Epcot. We play a little drinking game. We try to drink around the world. We didn't even make it to Epcot. We didn't even get there. We had so many other things we were doing. We didn't quite get there.
Your video's still on. I just
Field guy says, I would skip the rides. They make me vomit. Yeah, some of those, if I'd have gone on more than one. I only did a few rides. And the rides I did were some of the newer ones, and they get you a little bit. I can't do the motion the way I used to do it. And so anything that's got that fast motion and jerking me around is kind of rough. Matthew Sainsbury, once again, with facts and figures from behind the scenes. There's a guy who helped Holocaust victims who stared in Jurassic Park series as the owner of the dinosaur park. I think his name was Sir Richard. Oh, that's Attenborough. He was one of the. He is now the late Richard Attenborough. Oh, wait, the brothers, weren't they brothers? The Attenboroughs? And one is still around. He did something with Planet Earth, and the other one did Jurassic Park. So, Disney was a lot of fun. Ellery's favorite words. Oh, I hate you. There it is. Yeah. I still have those weeds that need pulling. Yucks. Elderberry says, Ellery's favorite words. These are the ones he overhears the most from Ellery. I hate you. So that's my wonderful children interacting with each other. And it wasn't much different during the week at Disney World, trying to keep them wrangled, Rainy and me and my daughters and my Bryn's husband, Zach. Everybody was like working overtime to make sure the kids weren't fighting and bickering about something. And there was always something. Flynn kind of kept his distance, but he's an instigator sometimes too. So, kids. Steph dabbles with Dramamine before and always and carry pure peppermint oil to inhale to help settle my stomach if that works. We didn't bring the peppermint oil. I thought we had some Dramamine somewhere in the bottom of the bag, but never took any. I thought Dramamine makes you drowsy for doing other things too. As a matter of fact, I'm still feeling it. I still feel up in the top of my head. It's like in the top of my head. It's like
water tower.
No, it was that way before we got here. So Brianna says they were just fine last night. The children? Yeah, they were okay. There was no screaming and fighting for the most part. Just bookcases falling on Harley and things like that. So over at our house last night. So, yeah, we had a good time. I would say that the highlight for me is going to be different than the highlight for Rainy or the highlight for the kids. I can probably speak for Flynn. Our highlight was my daughters had bought the building your own lightsaber experience for Flynn and me. And then they were going to get something different for the girls. They were going to build droids or something, and that didn't happen. They didn't make it to that in time, and it got rescheduled, and they kept trying to find something. So the girls didn't get the one big special thing. But with Flynn and I, we went and built the lightsabers, which was very cool. And what was neat about that, you're in Star Wars world, and you guys, you kind of know what that's all about. You've seen pictures, you've seen probably videos. If you've been over to my Facebook, you've seen videos of and photographs of the Star Wars world, and it's extensive. They built it's like you're at one of the spaceports, like being in Tatooine or something like that out of the movies. And so it was very cool and very immersive in some respects. Some of the rides were very immersive. We went on the Millennium Falcon ride, of course, and that was pretty cool. You got to walk around, you got to pilot it or gun it and things like that, and that was fun. But the best one was the Rise of the Resistance, and that was the newer ride that they have. That you go in and it's very immersive. They bring you in. You are with the rebellion, and they're telling you they're going to transport you to somewhere. And if you get captured by, the Empire troops, that you can't. You got to keep the secrets and all of that. And then, of course, in transport, your transport is hijacked caught by a tractor beam and sucked into one of the big empirical destroyers, and you're taken out. You're now prisoners, and they walk you into the room where you see all the stormtroopers lined up with the big windows where you see the big blue lights, white blue lights all around, and you're in the big hangar bay, and they take you through, and you're running through this whole thing, escaping on these little pods, running around the hallways of the destroyer. So it's dark and black with the lights, all the vertical lights they have in there. And you get into the big bay where they had the big AT-ATs, and you see them. They're actually built there. You come into that hangar and you look up, you go right underneath those things, and they're just amazing. And some of the theatrics are great. The window shots are great and everything. And you'd see the battle going on outside as you're passing by these big floor-to-ceiling windows, through one of the bays and stuff like that. And so it was explosions going on around you, pew pew everywhere and all that. So it was pretty cool. Very immersive experience. And it was a lot of fun. So if I didn't say good morning to you already, good morning, Sean and Romeldian. Good to see you guys in here. And of course, Brianna, I saw you very early on. So her poor eye, you said. I'm not sure what happened there with the eye. We're just fine last night. Her poor you're talking about Harley banging her eye last night. Yeah. Hope she's not so bad this morning. Who else we got in here this morning that I haven't said good morning to you? Field Guy didn't officially say good morning to. And Steph and Matt and Matthew and Elderberry and whoever else is wandering in. Good to see you all here this morning. Glad you made it in. So I didn't announce this ahead of time, only about an hour before the show started this morning. I put up something and I said, I think I'll do a show because I'm awake and I'm up. Let me get some coffee and we'll roll with it. So I was telling you one of the best experiences with Flynn and I, we got to build lightsabers. And it was very cool. There was this, in the whole big town here, there was this little corner with, had the little canvas tenty things up, on the sticks and things like you'd see in the village in the movies. And there was one little flag that showed this symbol. Where have I got it? It's over here on this side. You'd see it was this symbol. Hang on. I'm gonna move my chair a little bit. That symbol was on a flag, and that's the symbol of the lightsabers, I guess. And it was on a blue flag that was tattered and dirty, but there were no signs or anything. And you go over there and you arrange it by appointment. and you're there, and they take you inside this little hallway. You come into this dark chamber. It's got a big oval table laid out with stations all around it, and lights, skylight type things with shafts of light coming in from outside. And the whole scenario is supposed to be you are the new Jedi, and you are building your lightsabers, and we're hiding out from the stormtroopers and all of that. And this is all done in secret. And the music, the incidental music from the movie plays in the background. And it's playing all the time when you're outside. You don't really notice it. It's not like, oh, there's loud music. It's the sound systems are so great. It doesn't interfere with your conversations or things you're doing. It's just there. And so you build your lightsaber. And it was pretty cool. You have different kinds that you could choose from, different styles of housings that you would build. And they're built out of, here, I've got mine sitting right back here on this display piece. So this is the one I built. And you can see these things are, you can't really tell by looking at it, but on here, but you take something and you can see these are solid and they're heavy. Bree and John will tell you, they both handled these. Bree got to handle my lightsaber, and they're heavy. And, you've got, if I took this apart, which I don't know if I want to do, there, all these pieces were separate pieces that you got to choose to create the style you wanted. And I wanted my lightsaber to reflect the style of, there's the top piece. I wanted it to reflect the style of the original. So there's the center piece, and these are all metal. You can see there's the flashing blue light in there. There's a crystal in there. And when you turn it on, it does that. And there's, let's see if I can get the other piece apart here. This is actually two pieces that go together here to create your switch. I'm not going to take that all apart. So then I'd have to put it back together. But then you're assembling these bit by bit as they're, see if I got that on the right way. Yep. And then that tightens and locks down, and the tip goes on here and tightens and locks everything down. And then you're set to go. And of course, then you would set these down, and they came by and they put the blades in, of course, which, plastic blades. So you can have the light emit somewhere. And you had to all insert them into the thing and turn them on at the same time, which was very cool. Mine is right here. I've got and they give you these bags that you could carry them in, these canvas bags. And my blade, and so they give you a blade, like these. And you would just insert and lock these into place. So now that's locked into place. And now there's mine. You can't really see it with the light, but mine's the blue in color is the one I chose. And so they're very cool. And Flynn got a different style. My style of lightsaber, you got 4 different kinds you could choose from. And Flynn chose the elemental and nature was his style, and his looks, he had different components to put together. Mine, I wanted to get as close to the original Star Wars as possible, so I chose Justice and Peace, which was the Obi-Wan, the original Luke Skywalker, and that style. And I had different components to put together. That's still got a loose piece there. I've always had that since this started. That one's loose, but so you can see. And then your switches here to turn them on and off. So that was pretty cool. That was a very cool thing to do. It was all about 20 minutes long, something like that, to a half an hour. And I will tell you this, that my daughters, in paying for all this stuff, I saw the price tag on building these for the 2 of us was darn close to $600 for that experience. So Disney is not cheap, folks. And speaking of not cheap, doing the food down there was crazy. I know some of you commented on my Facebook post, and my daughters covered all the food too. But
Well, there was a couple of days where we bought food and it was like, holy shit.
I know we bought food because they weren't down, and I felt guilty that they were paying for everything. I mean, even though that was the deal. But we went down. We'd go down to get breakfast. Think of getting some scrambled eggs and bacon and toast and an orange juice. That kind of breakfast. Think of like taking your kids to McDonald's for breakfast, for piecemeal stuff, and it was all carry out. It wasn't a restaurant, and so this carry out. One morning, we all got our breakfast. I think I got a bagel and egg with egg and cheese on it, type of a bagel breakfast sandwich, and with 2 sausages. And mind you, the food was good. It wasn't bad. But for a family of 5, Rainy, me, and the 3 kids, it was close to $85 for getting breakfast. And it was served you in a box, and you got the box and plastic utensils, and of course all of that, bottles of water, whatever you're drinking.
There was 2 days. There was 2 days where our little things didn't work, and we probably paid $300 in food.
Yeah,
just ourselves for 2 days.
Yeah, we have wristbands they give you when you go in. They're like little wristwatches. They're kind of cool, and you tap them on everything. It gets you into your room. You make purchases with it. You don't even have to carry cash or a wallet out on the park. You just tap the thing whenever you make a purchase, and it tallies to your total bill at the end. And so there were a couple of days where the breakfast was on them, but we went ahead and we went to buy breakfast, and the thing wasn't linked up. We had to go back up and relink it, and so we just paid cash, and you're paying. Basically, you're looking at about to feed our family. We're not talking going out to a posh restaurant. We're talking about just feed your family, getting a couple sandwiches or lunch, cheeseburgers and fries and a Coke. Think of McDonald's, and then think of this. You're spending $103 one day. I saw that come. I said, "Are you kidding me? $103. One meal." That was for 2 cheeseburgers and fries, 3 salads. I happen to remember this, and our drinks. Came to $103. I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" was my response. And so, yeah, we didn't get dessert even. So, yeah, the digital IDs, says Matt Finn. Now, if they ask you to stick a chip in your hand for a nationwide digital ID, don't do it. That's right. Digital ID is okay. It's a wristband. You can take it off. And so anyway, that was fun. See, and Field Guy, you say Disneyland sucks, or Disney sucks, greedy bastards. Yeah, I agree to a certain point. There's another point where I say this. I was going to actually mention that particular point, is that there's a lot of people, oh, it's the mouse, it's Disney, and oh, it's all about money. And yeah, of course it is. There's none of us that go to work for free because we want to be altruistic and give that company our time for nothing. I understand what Disney has done. They've created something that's supposed to be, and I'm not just countering you, Field Guy. You just reminded me of something I wanted to talk about. There's one side of you that goes, really? $103 for 2 cheeseburgers and 3 salads? You better serve that to me on good china, but instead it comes in a box with a ketchup in little packets. I expect a little more for $103. And by the way, imagine doing that at least twice a day. So you're talking $206 a day for food, just basic food for 6 days. That's $1,200 for a week just to eat if you had salad and a burger between the family. So that's a lot of money. So anyway, what I know, one of the good things to do, and my daughters did this too. They stopped and did groceries on the way. So we had a fridge in the room. We didn't stock it up or anything, but we had some yogurts. We had some, instant oatmeals and things. We're not going down for breakfast today. I'm having an instant oatmeal.
Yogurt. They stopped at the store and bought yogurt, and it was expired.
Yeah, but we got to the yogurts and we tasted. Somebody tasted one and said this doesn't taste right, and all the yogurts they got at the grocery store on the way were all expired.
Yeah, they expired September.
And they're like, "Oh man, just go down and get breakfast." They said, "Just go down and get breakfast. Don't eat them." And so if you're gonna ever do that, you rent a room for a week there.
Make sure your food's not expired while you're at the
Make sure your food's not expired, but also, just get groceries and bring them in. Who is it? Amy Bruni. You know Amy Bruni. She's the redhead from old Ghost Hunters, and now she's got the show with Adam Perry, the Kindred Spirits. Amy's a friend of mine, and she saw some of our Disney posts, and she comes in under Amy Beardsley. Is her?
You're not supposed to tell people that.
Oh yeah, well her pictures are all over it. You look at Amy Beardsley, you know it's Amy Bruni. But she comes in and she commented on some of my posts, and she said, "Oh man, next time you go, here's what you should do, Scotty." And she said they go all the time, and they will have either groceries delivered or bring them in, and they will just do like breakfasts in the room, or they go back to the room and have lunch and do one meal out per day or something like that, and that's the way to go. So anyway, I am going to take a little break. I'm going to go use the bathroom. So here's what I'm going to have you guys do. You guys sit here, talk amongst yourselves. I need a morning break. I'll be back in about 3 minutes. So you guys, I'm going to mute the mic unless Raini wants to come over here and talk. And Raini, do you want to come over and say anything?
Don't, thank you, but
okay.
no.
You're going to stare at my background for a couple of minutes, and I'll be right back. So I'm going to go on mute. And while I do that, I'll just play a little. What have I got in the background? Did it already? Oh, well, I'll just leave it mute. You guys talk amongst yourselves in the chat room. I'll be right back. Whew! Well, I do believe I have just expunged the balance of Disney from my system. Wow, the mouse struck 12. So glad you stayed on while we were absent for that little non-commercial break. One of these days I'll have something we can just play while I'm out. I could have played some of the videos I took while we were there, and you could have enjoyed that while I was out. I was out getting rid of Disney. So anyway, I don't remember where we left off. James got FB jail for the new Project Veritas video. Which video was that? And why did they put you in jail? Just for sharing it? This is the whole thing about Facebook right now. They don't want anybody knowing anything that is not what they approve you to know. So pump up on vitamin C and D, Brianna. Oops, I clicked that one by accident, but so I'll have to see which. You'll have to send me a link for that, James. I got to see which one that is. Let's see. Oh, well, it's a good thing you didn't go, Brianna. Hopefully, you guys don't need to have COVID in your house. So, I think, and I don't know what to make of all this stuff, but I don't know what's real and what's not real. I do know we have antibodies coming out the wazoo right now. We just got tested the week before we went to, we got an antibodies test. And what's that?
At a Minute Clinic.
At a Minute Clinic. And you can go do those at a Minute Clinic.
Was it $40?
$40, and your antibodies are supposed to be, I don't remember the numbers. I mentioned this over a week ago, but they're supposed to be at a certain level, like a 0.08 or something like that. And I have a suspicion, even though he didn't give us the numbers, everybody else has done this. You're up in the multiple thousands with your antibodies for the COVID and the new variant and all of that. So, and then of course you get news stories coming out of Israel where they say if you've had COVID, the antibodies you've got are stronger than the vaccine, more protective than the vaccine. But now you've got articles coming out that are trying to debunk that. Well, the guy who did those reports, he's been debunked and so on. And it's like, whatever. Everybody's got to have their political say. So it's still a big political issue is the way I see it. So we'll move on from that. Teresa says, Harry Potter, Scotty Potty. There it is. Yeah, I got called that all through school when I was younger. That was my bullying was being called Scotty Potty, mostly led on by my older brother. So anyway, there it is. But yes, that's where I was this morning for about the last 5 minutes. I call it my expunging Disney tour. So, how did they say they debunked him? No, I didn't see that. Just somebody said, oh, he's been debunked. And I asked the question. I said, well, what did he do? What did they say about him? And nobody ever answers that. So, that's it. I like to challenge people's pet answers on things. So you say you've got a pet answer on that. You say you've got that he's been debunked. Well, let me know how he's been debunked. I would like to know this so I know what I'm looking for. He's been debunked by those who disagree with him. So there you go. He doesn't agree with us, so we're debunked. Yeah, that's good, Brianna. You haven't been around them. I've got one fly in here still. It's getting cool here, by the way. You know, we came back from, most of the time it was like 90 degrees and really high humidity, like 100% humidity down there in Florida. And if I make a move like this, it's to kill a fly. Might have gotten him. Oh, I did. Ew. So, gross. There. That's what pants are for. You wipe it on your pants. So, see you, Romeldian. And Beth Kirkham says that trip looked great. I'm glad you did it. We are too, Beth. It was a good time. We did a little recapping at the beginning of this hour. And I wasn't sure I was even going to come on this morning because I hadn't announced it. But I woke up early enough and I said, you know what? I think we'll do it. So Steph says, and her boyfriend is in great shape. Who are we talking about? Rainey's boyfriend, that's me. I'm in great shape. So, my daughter's boyfriend is 21, got the Pfizer shot, and now he is having heart issues, especially with high blood pressure. He's now seeing a cardiologist. Jeez. Yeah, and he was in great shape, says Steph. Yeah, the flies were crazy bad up here this year, too. Everywhere. So, up here in the north. So, yeah, way to go, Teresa. Trigger me. Trigger the bullying of my youth. So, I've gotten over it, Elderberry, just so you know. I got over it a long time ago. It's just there. I remember every now and then. So, Obi-Wan potty. There it is. Something like that. Yeah, I should grow out my beard, and then I could be Obi-Wan Kenobi for Halloween. Flynn, you should see him in his, we got the lightsabers. And then my son-in-law, Zach, was really into it with Flynn, and he took Flynn off, and he got Flynn the Jedi robe. I mean, these are the genuine things. They look like the movie article, and so he spent like $150 on a Jedi robe for him. And got him all the little crystals. There's the little crystals that go inside your lightsaber. You got them different colored ones that do different things with the lightsabers. And those of you that missed it at the beginning, this was my lightsaber that I got to build. And it's, if I hit the switch now, it just makes the on-off sound. But and if I took it apart, you could see, like I did a little earlier, you can see the crystal is all lit up in there. And so I don't know. Here, I'll take these up. These were, you can hear it's metal that these things are made out of. So they're not lightweight. But you take this piece off, and you can see in the chamber there, you can see the crystal is in there. And it just randomly flashes. And I don't know what it does when I... So that's the... and so the crystal is inside there. And we put these all together during that ceremony, and you got to choose your parts for it. And hey, be polite when we're on the radio. People can hear you, And of course, the for those of you who didn't get to see early on, these are the bags they gave you to carry your lightsaber around, because this was a special deal that we went to build your own lightsabers instead of just buy them outright, pre-made. Then you get the blade that inserts into them, and got to push down and twist, and then it's in, and then you turn them on, of course, and you can't see it in this light, but there you go. I got the blue lightsaber, and you can hear the sounds for it. And it's heavy duty, and it was a really nice deal. For those of you who didn't hear at the beginning of the show, this was Flynn's and my favorite part. It was a little ceremony you went into in the dark, in secret, away from the Empire, to have your lightsaber, and you build it, and you choose the kind you want. Flynn chose his was the elemental and natural, or nature, was his lightsaber, and mine was the justice and peace. And there were other ones that you could get, and they have different styles to them. Flynn's is not down here. I'd show you his. His is might be in his bedroom somewhere. I'm not sure where, but his has a little glitch in the switch, and so the girls are gonna call in, and they're gonna hopefully get it replaced for him. It works. He'll shake it a little bit like this, and the thing will go off. So that's my lightsaber that I got to build, and you get it with the little display stand, which I've got back there, and so that was a fun part of the trip. The Falcon, James, the Millennium Falcon was fantastic, and it was set up for a ride, and you go in there, and I actually took some video in there. I tried not to be one of those obnoxious fans who takes video during a ride. So like when I took it inside the rise of the rebellion, the rise of the resistance, I held the camera in so it wouldn't shine light on anybody, and had a good time with that. So that was a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, I might be able to, if I can do this without copyright infringement. I don't think it would be, but let me show you something here. And this will be just for fun. I can show you how this turned out. I'm going to show you, I don't have pictures up or anything like that, but what I am going to show you are some, I'll show you some photographs here and maybe a little video clip. If you take a look at this, I'm going to share my screen with you. So share screen, boom, and boom. There, now you're seeing my screen as it goes back. And I will show you a couple of photographs here. Like this was, if you see that, that was the Millennium Falcon. And this is the whole town that they built up. It's actually a spaceport that they built up. And so there was one of my first views of the Millennium Falcon. And it was pretty darn cool. And I'm going to play something for you here. This is on my Facebook page. Watch this. This is inside the Resistance ride. Watch this. I filmed this. This is inside the Rise of the Resistance, where you're now running from the Empire. Watch this one and see if you can hear this all right.
Now get on. There's a clear path to the turbo lift at the end of the hallway. Turn right. Droid, you're lucky I didn't spot you. Take those turbo lifts and stay out of trouble. Hey, get out of the right way. You go to the back. These two droids anyway. That's crazy. If anyone's back in a blaster, now's a good time. The escape pods are doors. Why are you going out there? Check down, up and back. Up is real bad.
The resistance will attempt to rescue the prisoners.
They have neither the resources nor the courage to engage us.
You underestimate their conviction. Raise the shields!
Shields? I see no evidence.
I'm brave, but ultimately hopeless. And there's nowhere to run.
That stuff is amazing.
Attention, all resistance personnel. Abandon ship. I repeat, abandon ship. This is stars.
Your efforts are
That's all out the windows as you're driving by the windows. Now you're going into the escape pod here. And we drop off. and then you crash land back.
Your escape routes came in a little off target. Ground crews will meet you outside the wreck. All right, nice job, recruits.
Now, you tell me that's not cool, and that was only about half of it, if that.
Right, Beck? Where's the lieutenant? I need eyes on Beck. Line up, Scapper's parking.
And that's where you exit the ride then. Okay, now you tell me that that wasn't cool. So that's the kind of stuff. And the rides have gotten more and more amazing. And hey, is it Dave Potter's birthday today? I thought it was the other day for some reason. Well, Dave Potter, welcome. Glad to have you in the broadcast today. That was just one of the videos from one of the rides we took. And that was the Rise of the Resistance, which is this big worldwide phenomenon right now, that ride. And getting in, they thought that they wouldn't even be able to get us into that ride. But we got in. We actually got in twice. So I thought that was pretty cool. And so I thought I'd share that one with you. That was a lot of fun. Sean Bowden is not a sci-fi dude. I'm sorry, Sean Bowden. That was still a pretty cool video, though. You got to admit, the ride is spectacular. It looks small on the small screen, but you're in it. You're in the middle of this environment, and it's huge. It's enormous. And Steph says, I have to say these rides are amazing, but I still have a good old carousel ride that you enjoy, talking with loved ones and see them laugh. Yeah, I like the unicorn ride myself. It's up and down on the unicorn, going in circles. And yeah, that's all right. And you need your cotton candy to do that and all of that. So you're welcome, Matthew. Yeah, the high tech and the old tech. So this is pretty spectacular stuff. And you know what I did? I ended up taking lots and lots of pictures of things that didn't involve my kids or my wife or my daughters or anybody. It was just pictures of the art craft, the stagecraft that is put into the environment to make you feel like you are somewhere. Now, this kind of segues back to something I started a while back. The field guy said something about, Disney all for the buck and so on. And I was going to talk about that anyway. And yeah, to a certain extent, yes, it is. There's no business that exists out there that isn't out for making money. There are 501c3s and charitable organizations that you can call a business that are for the purpose of being charitable. There are also companies that are there to be companies that make money. And it's like my daughter's Mermaid Tail company. Of course, they're out to make money. They're also out to create dreams for people. But there's a price to those things. They cost things. When I do a painting, it costs money to create a painting. And when somebody buys that, am I selling myself? No. There's a price for creative. Somebody wants something I've created, there's a price to it. Same with Disney. What are they in the business of? They are in the business of creating magic, creating magical environments. Now, of course, they've diversified and they're into all kinds of things you don't even know they're into. But, and yes, it's all about to make money and stay alive. But at the same time, it's all about, they couldn't do the things they do to entertain people and to make a magical place happen unless they're charging money for it. Right now, to pay $103 to get 3 salads and 2 cheeseburgers, that's a lot of money. And I think that could be done a little less expensive. But overall, the whole thing, you're buying the experience when you're there. And Matt says businesses obviously need to make money, but there's a limit to profit and massive profits for shareholders. I agree. And I agree with that. Roger says he was a performer at Universal Studios during their Halloween Horror Nights when I was in college. Lots of fun to be a performer in those places. Yeah, and I'm sure there's lots of rules you have to abide by. One thing we noticed is that Disney has gone way overboard. If somebody is upset that works there, you don't see that. And I guarantee if you see that and a customer sees that, that person probably isn't going to be there very much longer. Everything was all about everybody feeling like it is the happiest place on earth, even though it's probably one of the most expensive places on earth. I know there are ways to do Disney where you can avoid spending excessive amounts of money, but Disney costs a lot of money, sure. But they also create things for people to be entertained. You left Star Wars World, you feel like you were in the Star Wars world. You saw that ride that I just showed you a little clip of, which a phone camera doesn't do much justice to, but you can see what's put into making that. The reason I stopped, there were areas we went through where you passed from, I don't know, Toy Story Land into something that looked like it was out of Aladdin, but it wasn't Aladdin. It wasn't really Middle Eastern. It was fantasy, and the buildings and all the little details, down to laundry hanging on a line up about way up over there that you wouldn't normally look at, but it's there to create environment. And so the stagecraft, I'm going to put up a post on my Facebook as soon as I get a chance to go through some more of these photos. But I probably took 1,000 photos of just the stagecraft, looking at like if you look back there, and I got just swords sitting on a box leaning up in the corner until I get a chance to decorate this a little better. But things like that, little details, the way books are stacked, stuff all over. One thing, my son-in-law and I were talking about Star Wars World. I said, one thing you could never fault the Star Wars world with is overuse of zip ties and duct tape. I mean, everything had wires hanging and cables going everywhere and it was everywhere, and because it created the environment of what you're in. And they put that time into doing that. And so I can see where that's worth it. So Disney, they make excessive profits. Yes, they make a hell of a lot of money. But you also look at what Disney brings to people as well. They bring magic. They make magic happen. And hi, Scotty, says Haley and Harley. Hi, guys. And by the way, if anybody, that makes me think, if anybody wants to call in this morning and share your mind about stuff, there's the link right there. I just posted it into the chat room. Delaney, good morning. She says, so when the kids found out they were finally going, did the girls cry? No, they didn't cry. They cheered and jumped for joy, though. They were really happy. And they had a really, really good time, which was the purpose of it all. So for me, there's the money side, the profit side, the money hungry side, if you will, the greed, if you will. The other side is, what do they produce for that? They give you something that is amazing. Oh, hey, we got Harley coming in. Hey, guys. Good morning.
Okay.
What do you got going? Oh, there's your Wookiee. Your Wookiee and hi, Harley. Harley got a little Yoda. And Haley got a little Wookiee, a little Chewbacca. So, how are you guys this morning? Oh, here's Ellery. Hey, Ellery. How you doing? Say hi to everybody. Ellery's wearing her Stitch shirt. Her Disney World shirt. Here, stand over here on this side so they can see her shirt. Look, there, that's Stitch. And you can see, and then right on the back, Walt Disney World, it says on the back. So there's one of her souvenir shirts. So there's John and Bree. They watched Lucy and our bird, Blueberry, for the week. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, stop yelling.
Yeah. No, Delaney, there was no jab scene to go. They didn't require anything except masks on the indoors. I hear that, whatever that was. Do you like your Yoda?
Do you like Yoda?
Yeah, that too.
Stop chewing like that. You are not a cow. Oh,
Doug Stack likes Stitch better than Baby Yoda. Well, Doug, this actually isn't Baby Yoda she's got. That's Yoda. Look, see, he's even dressed right. That's just a Yoda toy for kids. Yoda. So, and then the other one's so. Yes to whatever's being said Steph. And your face is kind of covered there. See,
I knew that. I
if you move
knew
closer to me,
That's
you don't get so covered up.
My Pablo back.
There you go.
Pablo back.
Your what?
They used to take cast members into the tunnels as part of the tour. My wife, when she was a kid, this is all Matt Finn, said she'd seen the mouse smoking a cigarette with his head folded back. Said it semi-traumatized her. I'll bet. So, yeah, so there's my only point with all of this. Now there's the wild profiteering on one end. There's the amazing stuff they deliver to you.
Scotty.
Just to give you an idea of what Disney delivers, here's my 29-year-old twin daughters. Now, do you remember that first night when we saw the castle and it was all lit up and they did the fireworks and they showed movies were projecting on the castle and all the music and the sound systems there are extraordinary. It doesn't sound like it's being pumped out of speakers. It's like you're live. And so we're back from the castle. And the first night we were there, and they play, what's it called? It was called, not Forever After. It was something like that. The title, Happily Ever After or something. It was the Goodbye for the Day. And they play this every day at Disney World at the close of the parks.
Frozen
And-
ever after?
No. It was the name of the whole thing they did for the closing. And Happily Ever After, I think it was called. And they start with a little voiceover. Somebody sounds kind of like Kenneth Branagh that, talks about, the things in your life and the happy moments and this and that. And then it goes into the music and the light show that starts. And they start projecting things on the castle. And it's all synchronized. So things like move up the towers of the castle and they move all around. There's fireworks that start to go off in the background. And they start playing all these different songs from all these different little bits of monologue, little bits of songs from all these different movies. And my daughters, they both came up alongside of me, my older daughters, and both put their arms around me and they're just transfixed on this. They wanted me to see this. And this whole thing was, I realized at that moment how much my kids grew up watching all these movies. I think the first movie they saw was The Little Mermaid. Or no, it was The Lion King. And I think, no, Little Mermaid, then The Lion King, and then Aladdin. Those were the movies of their youth. And all the way up to present day. And of course, they're in the business now of making dreams come true, kind of building magic. Disney's a big thing for them. And so we're watching this. And my daughters told me they cried through the whole time they saw this the very first time. And I sat there and I got teary-eyed through the whole thing because it brings back all these childhood memories of my kids growing up. And then my kids now. All the things that all the movies were represented in the things that they see. And so it was pretty amazing stuff. And Roger Rabbit says, the tunnels are not a place you want to go unless you're prepared to have your childhood ruined. I'll bet. Did you find where they hide Walt's frozen head? No, that was on Futurama, I think.
Dad,
So,
they're muted.
let's see. Yeah, I see they're muted. You're muted, Bree, if you didn't know that. Maybe you muted it yourself. Yes, it's the nostalgia. The nostalgia will get you every time.
It's muted again.
And that, to me, that closing show, it lasted about 20 minutes. And you can go watch people's clips. I think they might have something official. Go to YouTube and look up Happily Ever After at Disney, the closing show. And you're gonna see
Can you say bye-bye?
how emotive that is. Bye, Harley. Are you going? I see she wants to make noise. So bye. So long. I see you.
Okay, stop yelling.
Okay, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. And you can be noisy with mom and dad. It was good to see you guys last night. Love you and miss you. Thanks for taking care of the dog and the bird. Mwah. And we'll talk to you probably later today sometime. Okay, see ya. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about. When Disney may be wickedly profiteering. Bye, sweetie.
Poo-poo.
Bye. There you go. There you have it. While Disney may wickedly profiteer, at the same time, they wickedly deliver. And that's one thing I noticed in that closing show that they do every night, Happily Ever After. It showed me just how big a part of our lives, even though we weren't a Disney family, we never went to Disney when my kids were little. We saw all the movies, we bought Disney stuff and all of that, and it was fun, and it was a big entertainment thing for us. But you don't realize how much that influenced my daughters to do what they do now and have been doing for the last 10 years with their business. They're in the business of making dreams come true, but they're also in the business of making a living and making money. And I'm all for that, especially if you deliver on the other end. And, yeah, Harley's upset that Lucy's gone. Lucifer was at their house for the last week. So did Tinkerbell fly out of the top of the castle? Yes, she did, Roger. Right at the toward the end of that Tinkerbell, you see the light. She flies, and you see an actual person on a wire flying, I don't know, 100 feet off the ground, off toward somewhere else. So it was pretty crazy. She flew out of the castle toward Tomorrowland. Yep. And so, hey, Siani, good to see you. And so that part was pretty spectacular. And that all by itself, that show, the first night we were there, epitomized for me how important a role some of those things played in my own family and for my kids as they were growing up. And so, Doug, you said you'll never go back to Disney. $100 million for a vacation ain't happening for me. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's I couldn't afford to do this for my family right now. My daughters could, and they did it for us. And that was pretty darn cool. And I appreciate everything they did for us. I mean, they covered the whole thing. I will guarantee you my daughters spent between the 8 of us, that's Rainy, me, and our 3 kids, then Abby and Bryn, and Zach, Bryn's husband. The 8 of us staying there for 8 days on Disney, on site. We stayed at the Wilderness Lodge, on site. All the food, everything that happened. I'll bet you my daughters plunked down a good $15,000 to $20,000 for this trip. Plus, they paid for our airfare and all of that as well. So you start putting all that together, it's an expensive time. Now, they're also Disney Vacation Club members, and they pay a certain fee every year to be part of that. There was a guy, we were all sitting in the hot tub while the kids were in the pool day before. And he was talking about, you can do the buy-ins where you buy in. I suppose it's like time sharing, but you can bequeath these to your kids. You can pass them on to other people, gift them and stuff, but you buy your rooms and stuff. And he paid $200 a month for 14 years and paid it off. And now they're in. They never have to pay to go there again. And they've always got their rooms. So, it's pretty cool. So they have their programs, but it's a way that Disney makes money and stays in existence. The one thing I like about it, that I like about the grotesque profiteering, is that allows Disney to they haven't stopped developing things. They haven't said, there, we've developed this far, and now we're going to grossly profiteer off of it. No, they keep buying things. They keep trying to make it bigger and better. They keep improving their animatronics. They keep improving the environmental experience that you're in. You go walk through Star Wars Land, it's extensive. It's like every time you turn a corner, you're in a different place. You're in a city. You walk through, what was it? Which park were we at? The film studios. You're in Los Angeles of the 30s to the 50s. And all the streets are laid out that way, and all the shops and all the buildings is where Tower of Terror is, and the replica of Grauman's Chinese theater, all of that. You walk through, and they all have music pumping through them. Again, it's not distracting music, which is cool. You're there. The sound systems are perfect. It's set so nothing's overpowering, but it's there. They had all old 40s, 50s style music playing through the whole time you're in the old downtown Los Angeles, downtown Hollywood. All that music playing. That was one of my favorite places because I love the music. They had Star Wars are playing all the music from Star Wars. Avatar. They're playing all the Pandora and Avatar music. Toy Story. They're playing all the Toy Story soundtrack and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. They say Tower of Terror is haunted. Real life, by the way, one of my faves too, says Steph. I would guarantee you Disney World is incredibly haunted anyway. If you can go to a hotel, and a hotel can be haunted because of all the people that pass through. Think of the millions of people that have passed through Disney World and Disneyland. Those places, those places are haunted. I didn't go on Tower of Terror. My daughters recommended I did not. Did Raini go on it? I think Raini may have gone on it once. She didn't want to go again. Just not the fear of going on the ride. It's my head can't take it anymore. My equilibrium gets so screwed up on those rides. I can't do it anymore. I can do very little of that. Even the ones I enjoyed, going to Pandora in the Avatar and getting in the three-dimensional riding the dragons, the Banshee, and down the cliff drops and down through everything. Loved it. Absolutely amazing for 4 to 5 minutes of my life. But to do it twice, I couldn't have done it a second time in a row. I'd either barfed my guts up or I'd have been out the rest of the day. We went to, it was at Universal, I think it was. We went on the Mummy ride from the Mummy movies. There's a lot of dark and a lot of flashing images and stuff. And we did that first thing in the morning. And I was done for the day after that. That put me over the top. And I couldn't do rides the rest of the day because my head, it affected my head with that motion sickness thing. And I was recovering from that for the rest of the day. And then we went to a Harry Potter ride. The Mummy ride was very cool. And, the investment in the queues and the lineups. If you got to stand and wait for a half an hour and a ride to an hour, you're going through queues that are all environmentally created there are things to look at and see and hear and feel and all of that. So it's very cool in all fronts. We didn't go on to Everest, but we went, Roger, to Animal Kingdom. And we saw the Tree of Life and all of that. And we took a safari at Animal Kingdom, which was very cool. You're out in an open truck, and it's like an outside zoo. It's a safari. And it's very cool. That's why you go once, then get the fast pass. There it is. Dave Potter, how many times did Ellery get motion sickness? Never, Uncle Dave. I was telling this story a little earlier. We went on Space Mountain. It was one of the first fast rides we went on. And it's, of course, black and jerks you all over. And I got Raini and I rode that one together. And we were like, oh, my God. And I said to Raini, even during the ride, I said, I wonder how Ellery's doing. She was back with Abby or Bryn riding in a different car. And we got out and I said, oh, man, I was a little nervous that Ellery was going to come out of that and never want to do a ride again. And she came out running and jumping and screaming, again, again, again. Ellery is the what would you call her? She is the experience maven. She's the adventure, excitement, anything fast and moving and hard. And Ellery is who the Ellery you see is the Ellery she was there. And so she loved every minute of it. And I love the Yeti ride. They went on the Yeti, I believe. They went on the rock rock and roller coaster or something. They went on the Velocicoaster at Jurassic Park. They did all of those rides. Disney might be the one-time share worth buying in the world of timeshares. And I would agree with you. This guy was talking about what they paid for theirs and how much. And he and Zach were talking. We're all sitting in the hot tub. He's talking to Zach about the investment factor of it and all of that and how they come every year. You have to be, of course, and do our vacation every year. We're taking a week or 2 weeks a year to go to Disney when you're spending that kind of investment. He and Zach were talking about dollar for dollar investment, the best way to buy it and so on and what you can do with it. And he said, if you're going to buy a timeshare, always go up one room. He says, you don't just buy a room. You got a family, you buy 2 rooms. You make it a 2-room investment timeshare. And they don't call it timeshare. It's something, and it works a little differently than a timeshare. But then he says, if you think you only need 2 rooms, he says, you get the 3-room package. This is the way this guy was thinking. He was talking about the investment in it. And he says, you spend this much money and this much and this much, and you go every year, you might as well invest in the package. So Brianna taking off. All right, friends, I have to go. Good to see everybody. See you tomorrow night. Get going and clean up the house. That's what we're still in the midst of. We came home to a house that was not yet unpacked. Folks, we were here for about a week before this trip happened. And so we came home and we tried to make it as clean as possible for when we returned. But of course, it's never going to be exactly what you want it to be. How do we get the exclusive wallpaper for our memberships? I don't know, Siani. I just don't know. I don't know any of that stuff yet. Matt Finn said, our club doesn't include tickets, just the hotel, and you get discounts on tickets and merchandise. There it is. Yeah, my daughters had a card for they're part of the vacation club, not the buy-in. They referred to it as the vacation club, and they were talking about the buy-in. So the vacation club, they get a 20% discount card. And so when we'd buy souvenirs and stuff, we'd try to get the 20% card so we could get stuff. And so, so that was fun. All in all, it was well worth it, and it was great fun. I got to show you guys one more clip here. This is a shorter one. If you're on my Facebook page, you would have seen this. But I'm going to show this to you because I want you to see this. This is the, let me put that on silence, and I'm going to bring it all the way back to the beginning. Can I pause it? Yeah, I can. Okay, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to share my screen with you. Remember, I showed you the clip from The Rise of the Resistance. Now, this one is a little clip that I'll share my screen. This is the beginning of The Rise of the Resistance. Now, keep in mind, this is an environment that they're bringing you into. And let's see, that's Photoshop. I'm in the wrong screen. Boom. Okay, you see that picture? This is when you first get, this isn't the beginning of the ride. This is the beginning where your transport has been hijacked by the Empire and you're brought captive, taken prisoner aboard. And this is what they usher you into. This is a huge atmosphere. Watch this for a second here. That's Zach in the white shirt there, by the way. And Rowan in her green shirt and Ellery in the pink. It's my daughters, other daughters. So there's your stormtrooper, and you hear the music. All right, follow Zach. And so that's where we were ushered out of that area. And so here, I'll stop sharing the screen now. And so you get the idea, the environment that's built and the stuff they put into doing this. If Disney is wildly profitable, I say let them be. I don't really care. If it costs me more money, I'll find ways to make it cost effective for me. But if they're going to charge $103 for 2 cheeseburgers and 3 salads, well, maybe next time we'll bring food to the room and do it. You can bring your groceries into the room. And yeah, the Star Wars land was awesome. I spent a lot of time on that because we went back there a second time and did the big rides again and stuff like that. So we had a lot of fun with it. And I piloted the Millennium Falcon the first time, and the second time the kids wanted to pilot, so they piloted. And so that one was pretty cool as well. And so we had a good time with all of that. Hey, Ro.
Hi.
And so there was also, we did, let's see if I've got it in here. I might share this one with you too, if I can find it. When we did the Millennium Falcon, we did it twice. And maybe I didn't put up a video for this. I might not have. I was going to say I'd show you that, but I might not have put that one up. We did the Rise of the Resistance. We did the that and the that and the that. I'm just looking to see if I've got it in here. I might not have. No, I didn't put it up. So that's okay. You're saved from another video, another vacation video. But took some video going into the Millennium Falcon. That was pretty cool. Yeah, it was Siani. That was before Star Wars. I've always had a great time there. Yeah, you take your own food. That's the way to do it, Matthew. That's what I was telling you. Amy Bruni told me. She said, we're going in a few weeks. And she said, we just have groceries brought in, or we bring in our own. And we don't eat every meal out. And she said, that's a good way to save a hell of a lot of money. If you're paying for the hotel, you're staying on site, you're paying premium for those hotels anyway. And you bring your own food, and you don't have to worry about spending another $300 a day just to eat.
One of our pipes are leaking.
Okay, that's not for radio. We'll take a look at that when I'm off radio. Thank you for that. I thought you were going to add content to what I was saying here. Yeah, we got a leaky pipe in the house. So now you all know that. There you go. Somewhere. So the Harry Potter pictures, Sienna, yeah, that was pretty amazing. And I can show you guys just a couple of those, just so you know. Here, I'll share my screen with you one more time, guys. And if you didn't see these over on my Facebook page, oops, that's something totally different. Let's go here. Here we are. Let's see, I can get rid of that. I will show you a couple of the pictures from like the Harry Potter stuff. Oh, there's Ellery and my son-in-law, Zach. That's actually, it's kind of funny. I kept thinking of him in terms of uncle. He's not an uncle. That's Ellery's brother-in-law. There's just a big age difference. 20-year age difference there. Here we go. I think I showed you that one. That's the Millennium Falcon, for those of you who weren't here earlier to see that. Then we've got the videos I showed you. There's Raini. I like this picture. Please do not touch. This is in the queue for Rise of the Resistance. So there's Raini the Rebel touching what it says, please do not touch. And that's Raini took that shot. We're all standing in the hallway waiting for sisters. That's their room back there. And there's Flynn in his Jedi robe. He wore that every day after he got that out to the park, even though it was 90 degrees and high humidity. And let's see what else we got here. Moving on and along. Oh, this was very fun.
Go. Rex. I think that's a T-Rex. Well, turn around and see if she sees you. I don't know if she sees you. Get out of here. Go. Well done. Mom's going to show that at your wedding. Have a great day.
I thought that was fun. That was the kids at Jurassic World. Let's see. Oh, it's Raini and I at Dr. Seuss World. Honkers. So we were doing our best to participate. And what did I want you to see? Okay, now like here's when we first got to the Harry Potter world. This is Hogsmeade. That's the little village. And you can see way in the background, you see the central tower back there. That's way in the background. That's Hogwarts is back there. But it's got all the snow on the roofs. There's Raini out front there. And there's where we had our butter beer and all of that. Now, I took a ton of pictures here. These are just the environment here, and I got a crack in the lens, but of my camera, but so we get that weird glow every now and then. But you can see, and I went through and I just took a lot of pictures that are not displayed here of the time they take to create the environments you're in. And so that's Hogsmeade, the little village. Here was Hogwarts itself, up on the castle, and you can see by the size of the people back here, this is still a miniature, but it's built in such a way to make it look like it's really a huge castle up on the cliffs above you. So there's Rainy out front of that. You can get the idea. And there it is in the background. There's Rainy and me with Hogwarts in the background. And that's something unrelated to Disney. So there you go. So those are some of the Hogwarts pictures. Here you are. This is Diagon Alley from Harry Potter movies. And the dragon, of course, raises up and shoots fire out every now and then. You feel the heat all the way out here. And so I thought the eye for detail was what impressed me about Disney World and everything about it. Now, this, of course, is Universal, but it's owned by Disney. And so the eye for detail is spectacular. And as you can see with all these shots, this is inside one of the shops at Harry Potter World. There's Rainy and I at Diagon Alley. So the dragon out behind us. So that was a lot of fun. This is the Hogwarts Express that you hop aboard. And of course you ride, and it's just visuals in the windows that go by, like you're going through the countryside and so on, and you exit and you're in Harry Potter World. That's out front. There we are on the train. So going over to Hogwarts. That's Universal Studios, of course. And then we're into old stuff before the trip. So that gives you an idea. And so we'll get back out of this now. So there you go. That was some of the stuff. And so the Dementors, yeah, they show up in there. The shadows on the doorway, the frosted glass doorway of your train berth. And you can see the Dementors and the hands on the windows and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. And so that was all a very good time. My major purchase is a lightsaber and Jedi robes and a wand and Ravenclaw robes. We didn't do the wand thing. I wish we had, and we didn't. We were trying to determine what to do with the girls because Flynn and I got the lightsaber thing, building your lightsaber, and the girls got, they didn't get the thing they wanted to, which was build droids. They couldn't get into that. And so we were thinking of the wands, and we just didn't get it done. We didn't accomplish it with so much going on. And the wands, if you just buy a wand, they were anywhere from $59 to $79 to buy wands. And, but we wanted to put them through the experience of doing it. And we just didn't have a chance to do that. And we didn't get back there to do it again. So, next time, would have been fun to, you can get the wands online, of course, but, there's nothing like going through the experience. Again, it's all about the immersive experience. And once again, for those of you who were late, I'll show this for the third time this morning. This is my lightsaber that I built, and I wanted mine to look as much like the originals from the original movies, the old Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber and Luke Skywalker. So I went for that motif. You got all these parts are different sections that you put together, and you pick and choose. And you choose your light crystal on the inside. And that's in there. If I took this apart, you could see the crystal chamber. And this, of course, you aren't going to see it very well in this kind of light, but I'll show you one more time. For those of you who've been mentioning it, you get these blades, of course, that come with them. But you go through this whole ceremony. And let's see. All right. And then, you know, of course, mine's blue. You can't really see that here. But in this lighting, but you You can see the blue reflect on my face. That gives you an idea. But that's my lightsaber. Flynn got a little different style than this. And so these were very cool. And they're very heavy duty. They're made out of real metal, which is cool, not plastic. So there you go. That was, and Flynn got the, Zach took him back out to do the Jedi robes and got him the holster or the belt from the movies to hang his lightsaber on and all of that kind of stuff. So that was, so that was pretty cool stuff. For those of you mentioning, Siani mentioned the lightsabers. And we didn't get the wands. I would have loved to. Harry Potter World. There were two things I wanted to see when I went to Disney World. Star Wars and Harry Potter. And I saw like Pandora from Avatar and all of that. Some of the extras like that. But it was a fantastic trip. And I'm talking it out today, so we don't really have to mention it again this week. Other than probably when we get into the shows this week, just mention we had a good time at Disney last week for those of you that don't tune in on Sunday morning. So there you go. That's about all I got. And it's now 10:44 in the morning. And 16 Candles is on. You go watch it, Steph. Siani has a Pottermore account. So I want the wand that's on there. Yeah. I would love to have gotten my girls the Harry Potter robes and stuff, but they weren't as into Harry Potter as they were into Star Wars and other things. So my little kids aren't as much into Harry Potter as my older kids were. So let's see. Doug Stack said, what is this? Oh, about dinosaurs? I don't believe it was 65 million years ago. And if it were, I think humans were there too. I agree with you, Doug. I don't know how old it really is. Who the hell knows for sure? So we'll cover that in another show sometime. I'm thinking of doing a little more, lapsing back more into doing a little more paranormal stuff and mysterious and occulty type of weird stuff on the daily show. And we're going to see what we're going to do with that. I'm going to be talking to Russ Hesslage, who is the owner of the station, and get this operating again on the live on the network, as well as here on the YouTube, and for the daily show, Monday through Friday, and do some more stuff like that too. So we'll let you know as it's all going. Life is good, says Steph. Grease is on after that. Yeah, it's been years since I've seen Grease. So, all right, guys. Thank you for hanging out this morning. It was just Sunday morning, having coffee, hanging out. Remember, Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. West Coast. Anywhere from 12 to 14 hours ahead if you're in Australia, 6 hours ahead if you're in England, and our people in Europe that watch this show. So, and South America, you're almost the same time zone, I think, as us down there with Matthew Sainsbury. So, guys, thank you, Elderberry. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you got into the chat room and I didn't get a chance to say hi, good morning. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We had a good time last week. We got back yesterday we got home here at about 4 in the afternoon yesterday. And so it's now 10:46 a.m. and we're going to go on with our day. Probably get the house cleaned up and do some laundry. And go forge into our week starting tomorrow. So you guys take care. You have a good day. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time, that you'd come over, spread the word about this show so people know that it's here. Sunday morning, informal. Rest of the week, a little more formal for our classes. So come on over. And if you haven't joined and become a member of the channel, please do. Just hit the join button. You can join. And more stuff coming your way in the near future here. So we'll see you again tomorrow night. It's your time zone time for Intrepid Radio. And once again, live long and prosper.